Welcome to the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast. My name is Katie Dodd, and I'm a nutrition entrepreneur. I spent 7 years as a side hustler before diving into entrepreneurship full time. Before making the leap, I was bringing in 6 figures through my side hustle. If I can do it, you can too. This podcast is for dietitians, interns, and students who want to be inspired to start or perfect the side hustle of their dreams. Let's do this. Welcome to the 172nd episode of the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast, The Practice Revolution Live. Now, I'm so excited for this episode. This is an episode where I interviewed Javier and Marissa Carlin with the Practice Revolution in the Dietitian Side Hustle Facebook group. So a couple things about this. I'm going to cut into the interview in just a second, but I realized afterwards that I was wearing my headset and I had my microphone in front of me, but I didn't plug it into my computer. So my sound quality is not the best. And I did have some technical issues where I got a little fuzzy at some points. So just ignore that. The overall message is really incredible. I love talking to Javier and Marissa. What they're doing in the field and how they're helping nutrition and healthcare professionals is amazing. So they are doing a live event. I mentioned it in the last podcast episode. It's called Time to Thrive, Unlock Your Potential at the Practice Revolution Live. This is going to be the 3rd live event they've done. I've been at every single one. And you're going to hear me say this in the interview, but I would love to have you guys there. Nothing beats the power of in-person. And I know them. I know their style. I'm going to be a speaker. It is going to be such an incredible event. And I guarantee you're going to leave like, I'm so glad that I came. This is one of the best things I did for my business. So I'm going to go ahead and cut into that interview. And yeah, I hope you enjoy. Well, hello, everyone. I am so excited to bring in Javier and Marissa Carlin to talk today to you guys about the Practice Revolution Live, Time to Thrive, Unlock Your Potential. Now, I love in-person events. If you're in my community, you know how much I love the power of in-person. And we just came back from Fancy. Javier and Marissa were at Fancy. I was at Fancy. I know a lot of you were at Fancy because I met a lot of you. And I love in person. But the good news is if you missed Fancy, or even if you were there and you super loved it, it's not too late to go to an amazing in-person event. And it's this year, December in Florida, which for someone who lives in Oregon, or if you live anywhere in the country where the weather's, wintry, Florida's the best place to go during December because it's like a vacation. It is so gorgeous and amazing. So I am so excited to have the two of you here to tell people more about this amazing event. I'm going to be a speaker. I'm going to be there. I can't wait. But I guess before I dive too deep in, would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, Katie, thank you for having us as always. It's an honor and a privilege, and we just love connecting. It's like we were talking for a few minutes and we never have enough time to catch up and talk. So we're gonna have to set up a session for just to do that. But thank you for having us. Maybe you want to introduce yourself first?
Yeah, I'll go first. So my name is Marissa. I'm a registered dietitian, and I'll give you a short little backstory into who I am and how we got here today. So going into my dietetics journey in college, I always wanted my own private practice. But my professors told me that it wasn't possible. They basically laughed in my face and said, you have to start in clinical. And so that's exactly what I did. And although I had a great experience in clinical, I don't regret it at all. I met amazing friends, amazing coworkers, and I just learned so much. At the end of the day, I didn't see myself in a clinical position until retirement. And so at that point, I had started to branch off, start to see clients on my own in my own private practice, but I didn't really know what I was doing. And I couldn't figure out how to grow my business to that level where I felt confident quitting my 9-to-5. And so at that point, long story, but I had invested in mentorship, and that's when things really started to take off. I was able to move to a brand new city. We moved from Miami, Florida to Tampa Bay and build my private practice from the ground up. I did a combination of an online private practice and also local networking. And so now what we're doing is, we created the Practice Revolution to really share our journey and our lessons with other dietitians, other healthcare entrepreneurs who want to do something similar, who are feeling stuck in that 9-to-5, possibly feeling unfulfilled, underpaid, right? Not really feeling like you're making a difference. And for some people in the profession, they love the private practice route and that's the route that they want to go, but they don't really know how to make it a reality. And so that's exactly what we're doing here at the Practice Revolution, is we are taking our years of experience as healthcare professionals, growing our own private practices, and sharing those lessons with you guys.
Awesome. Well, I'm so excited to have you guys here and so grateful to have the two of you as friends. I know we met back in 2020 through our mutual coach, Greg Todd, and then I got in your guys' world and we've continued to collaborate. And I just love what you guys are doing for the profession and how you are helping dietitians and nutrition professionals who are struggling. They're like, I want to do the thing, but we didn't learn how to do it in school. So I love the work that you're doing. And so, yeah. And I'm excited about the live event. So
Yeah.
let's tell people a little bit more about what the live event is. So can you tell people what is the Practice Revolution Live Time to Thrive, Unlock Your Potential? What is this event?
Yeah, so that's a great question, and I'm going to tie that into how I got started, a little bit about my background and why we're even hosting this event to begin with. And for those of you that are tuning in live, say hello in the chat. Don't be a stranger. I see Elizabeth and Kat in the house. Kat, I'm super excited to see you in December. It's going to be awesome. For those of you that are already like, this sounds pretty cool, I want more information, comment the word thrive down below so we can get you the deets. My story, for those that don't know me, my name is Javier Carlin. I'm a physical therapist by trade. And I was in a similar position as many of you. This actually happened to me in my third year of physical therapy school. When I was in the hospital, it was Mount Sinai. I had my clinical instructor and the other PTs and healthcare professionals who were working together there, and we were at lunch. And there's a whole backstory to how this came about, but just to not be here for a couple hours, there were conversations being had about how they were feeling underpaid, undervalued, not respected by their peers, physicians, doctors, etc. Sound familiar? It sounds like every healthcare professional at some point or at some level deals with this as well. And what really got me though was, not to dive too deep into the backstory, but one of the reasons that I went into the profession to begin with was, yes, to help people, but also, it was rated as like top 10, professions to be in with the financial security and the job security and all of this. And there were some things that happened in my past that led me to want to make sure I had that security. And I overheard this conversation my CI was having with a peer, and he was talking about how he was financially struggling and on the brink of divorce with his wife. And my parents got divorced growing up, and it was something that I wanted to make sure for myself never happened. And I saw physical therapy as a way to make sure that did not happen. And then very quickly during that conversation, I realized, oh my goodness, those things aren't correlated, and I need to find a better way. And so I started to question a lot. I was in my third year PT school, already $100,000 in debt. I was a little bit nervous, and I felt pretty tense and scared because I didn't know what to do. And so what ended up happening was I was listening to a podcast by our mutual mentor, Greg. And in the podcast, he said this. He said, don't follow the herd, for the herd will lead you straight to the slaughterhouse. And I was like, man, that's pretty intense. But what he was saying is, if you do what everyone else is doing, you're going to get what everyone else is getting. And so in that moment, I decided I needed to do something different. And, I started to dive into Greg's content, learn more about him. He seemed to have everything: family, finances, fun, everything that I wanted, the freedom. And of course, you see people on social media and you're like, okay, that's cool, but I wonder how it is in real life, right? And so at the time I was like, you know what, this is the best I've got, so I gotta do something. And I invested in myself, and that was my first mentor and the first coaching program I joined as a student. Now, this is where it gets interesting though, because I learned some cool things, the experience was great, but what really changed it all for me was this. This was in January of 2017. In May of 2017, just a few months later, guess what he hosted? He hosted an in-person event. At the time, it was called Smart Success PTs. And I ended up driving to Tampa from Florida. I was there, and that's when things became real, because I met people there who had seen the problems that I had seen working in that clinical internship and had decided to do something about it. I met people there who were, 3 levels, 5 levels, 10 levels, past where I was. And these were people that had what I wanted. I met people who were multimillionaires who, yes, made a lot of money and also helped a lot of people. And they were there with their family on vacation, right? They went there, they spoke, they met some cool people, and they just hung out and had a great time. And that's when things became real. I was like, oh my goodness, this is possible, right? It is possible to have it all. And so I tell you that story because in that moment when I saw it was possible, I had the belief that if these people who were just like me, who normal PTs, right, didn't have, a rich family member or anything like that, they went through the schooling, etc., could do it, then I could do it too. And that's why we're hosting this event in December. That's why we believe in events so much. It's about the energy that you experience when you're there. And Fancy's great, and we were there. However, what we're teaching is the other side. You've got the education, and that's important. Now you need to learn, how do I get my skill set and reach the masses? How do I reach more people? How do I impact more people and make money as well, so that you too can have the financial freedom, the lifestyle, and the time freedom that you deserve? And that's why we ended up doing events ourselves, because we know the power and the influence that it had on our life. And we want to be able to share that experience with others as well. So Katie, I don't know that I answered your specific question, but I wanted to share that because this was literally the pivotal moment for me, where from that point on, everything's changed for the best, for the better. So
No, and I share a similar story. It was in Smart Success Healthcare. He had changed it at that point from PT to healthcare 2021. Because when I got into Greg's world, it was during a pandemic. But when I went to his first live event, I think, especially as dietitians, we have an expectation of what a conference is like. You go, you sit through sessions, they may be good, they may be boring, you get your CEUs, you follow your CEUs, and it's not super exciting. But when I went to Greg's event, it was like next level. It was entrepreneurs, people who were doing what I was doing, people who were steps ahead of me, people who were actually teaching me things that were going to help me make money, not just get CEUs. Yes. And the power of being around all those people, that's what led to me leaving my job. 6 months after that event, I left this job that I planned on being at until I was 68 and a half years old. So I feel like it's so hard to communicate to people the power of in-person unless you're actually there and in the room. And while Fancy is amazing, and I love Fancy for the networking. I go to see my friends and make new ones. But for me, what I love about the event that you guys are doing is that it is going to be amazing for networking. You're going to be in the room with amazing healthcare professionals, entrepreneurs. The speaking lineup you have is like phenomenal. And what's so cool about these sessions, I'm actually excited for them because I know even myself, I'm going to glean, I'm going to take away, I'm going to learn these skills that are going to help me continue to level up my business. And I'm going to get to share with people too, with my little speaking spot. So thank you for sharing that. And what I would love to kind of dive into next is for people who are kind of leaning into, okay, maybe you guys are selling me. Maybe we could talk a little bit about the nitty gritty, the where, the when, the who, like all the details of the event for these dietitians who we like details.
Marissa's got the details.
All right, I got the deets. I'm that type A dietitian that knows exactly what you all want. So first and foremost, we do have a website that has all of this information. If you're interested, before I dive into any of the details, just comment the word thrive down below. Katie will connect with you afterwards. She'll give you all the information. I know sometimes you have to see it on paper, you have to see it on a website, you need a plan, your travels, all that good stuff. But if you're interested at all, just put the word thrive down below and Katie will give you the full rundown afterwards. But some of the details that you all probably want to know about. When is this happening? So this is happening December 8, 9, and 10. So here's the thing. We've done this event twice already, and it's gotten bigger, bigger, and better, and more awesome every single year that we've done it. And one of the most, pieces of feedback that we've gotten from everyone who's been there is they all leave saying, we want more time. We want more time. This was too short. Because I think, Katie, you know that these events fly by. It's like they're so fun that time just escapes us. And so that's one thing that we have implemented is a 3-day event. All right, so make sure you're here for all 3 days. So December 8, 9, and 10. And it is going to be in Tampa Bay, Florida. So like we were saying before, Florida is amazing in December. There's no snow. You don't have to be shoveling, snow. You don't have to be, defrosting the car. None of that. Come to Tampa Bay. It's going to be absolutely amazing weather. And the venue is called Embark Collective, if you guys wanted to know. So Embark Collective, and it is about a 10 or 15-minute Uber ride away from the airport. So super close. There's a ton of hotels, a ton of Airbnbs in the area. That's where we recommend you guys stay. We actually have a Facebook community of attendees who are already, they already got their ticket and they're already planning, all right, who's gonna, share Ubers and who's gonna share Airbnbs and hotel rooms and all that stuff. And so, once you get your ticket, we'll definitely put you in there so you can network and you can start meeting people before the event actually starts. So we can start the networking process now, which is awesome. So December 8, 9, and 10, Tampa Bay, Florida, be there.
Oh, are we still live?
Are we frozen?
Are we frozen? I think we might be frozen. Hey, Kat, can you hear us okay? Oh, I think we're back. Let's see.
The connection started getting funny, and then all of a sudden, poof, it looks like we're still, I don't know if we're still on Facebook. I hope we are.
I think
we are.
I think we are, Katie. I think it looks like people can hear us. You're a little choppy on your end though. But I think we're good now.
Something's going on with my internet and I have no idea. So hopefully it keeps going good. So
okay.
They can hear you.
Perfect.
That's the important part. Hopefully my internet connection gets better. So continue on.
Awesome. So yeah, just to add to that, over those 3 days, one of the things that we want to make sure happens, we want to make sure that you're not just going to this event and getting a ton of information. Now, don't get me wrong, the information, the lessons that you're going to learn are going to be game changing. Okay, they're going to be lessons that you could take with you, implement and impact many and make a lot. Now, what we like to do is also make it workshop style, where you'll go to this event, you'll learn, and at the same time, you'll implement on the spot. So you have actual tangible assets that you can take with you and use to help grow your business, whether you're just starting out, whether you've already started, you've gained some traction, you want to grow, there's going to be something for everyone. At the same time, if you're working a job and you want to start off as a side hustle and you want to keep it at that, that's cool. If you want to go, full on business over time, that's perfectly fine as well. We have speakers there that have been through every single step of the journey, and they're going to be sharing with you how they did it and how they've been able to do it while not sacrificing a lot of their time, their health, of course, and the things that are most important to you. We've even got some speakers I haven't told you about. We haven't formally mentioned yet, Katie, but we've got some people that you actually know who are also going to be there. And they're actually going to be showing us and sharing with us how we're able to actually expedite the results that you guys are getting with a lot less of your time using tools like AI. Many of you might have heard of like ChatGPT, okay? And many of you might be using it. However, that's like the tip of the iceberg. There's some really cool stuff happening behind the scenes that if you have that, if you have those skills and you have that knowledge, you're going to take off like a rocket ship. Those that don't and are just using, things like ChatGPT and that's all, you might get left behind. So this person, he's been testing, creating new softwares, and he's going to share with you how to actually use those tools to really make stuff happen in your life a lot faster, because that's the one thing that we can't get back is time. So if you want to save time, if you want to have that time freedom, you're going to want to be there.
I'm excited. I think I know who it is, but I'm excited because what I like about your events, and I've been to all of them, you guys, they talked about how this is the
Yeah.
third one. The first one, Break the Limit, I was there in their living room. The next one, Nutrition BizCon Live last year, I was there too. And so, I'm excited to see how it continues to get bigger and better. But even in your living room, it was phenomenal. So I just can't wait. Now we're at a beautiful location, a bigger spot. And so what I love about how you guys do things is it's not just about teaching to people. It really is about the implementation. When we think of the different levels of learning, we could learn about something, we'll probably forget it. Learning how to do something, that's good. But the best part is actually doing it. And so at this event, you're not just going to learn about and how, but I hope that I'm not breaking up because you guys look frozen, but I want to be. Anyone in Facebook, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. It's a little choppy, but we can hear you.
Golly, great. Well, so for those who do want to sign up, I've got some more questions for you, but I want to make sure I throw this out before I completely freeze. So if you go to my Linktree page, it is katiedodd.com. That is where you will find my affiliate link for joining the live event, Time to Thrive, Unlock Your Potential. And there is a special offer for you guys when you use my affiliate link. And there's a coupon code called SAVE75, and it will save you $75 off the price of your ticket. So not only will you be going to this an amazing event, 3 days, beautiful Florida, actual tangible things you could use in your side hustle, in your full hustle if you're a full-time entrepreneur, and be around all of these amazing entrepreneurs, make connections, all the things. You could save money while doing it. So I would love to know, and this will probably be my last question before. Thanks for sharing it. You guys are so on it. I'm looking over here on my other screen. You guys are just sharing the links and everything. So what would you say to people who are on the fence? They're like, oh, I want to go, but it's expensive. It's a commitment, because it really, honestly, guys, the price of the tickets is not that much, but I understand. We're looking at flights. We're looking at hotel. We're looking at travel. We're looking at either taking time off of a job or, trying to find someone to take care of the kiddo. So it is a commitment to go. So for those people who are kind of on the fence of like, oh, golly, I really, really want to go, but I just don't know if it's realistic for me, what would you say to them?
Oof. So many things. So many things. Do you have anything you want to start with?
You can start and then I'll
Okay.
add
Okay.
something.
So in short, figure it out. I promise you, when I went to the first event, guys, I was a student. I was a student. I was in school. I could have made up every single excuse in the book. Like, I'm a student. I don't have money. I'm not working. I was going through my clinical internship at the time as well, and I just had to make a decision, right? I had to make a decision, and I think all of us have a choice to make, and I had to make a decision. Am I going to choose comfort and convenience over the life that I want to live, that I say I want to live? And for me at the time, I had experienced so much pain early on in my career as a student, from watching what was going on at these internships, that I had to make a decision that I was not going to let anything stop me from allowing myself to receive the lessons, the network, and the abundance that was going to be there for me at this event. So I had to figure it out. And I think everything's figure outable when you value it and when you want to make it work. So it's not about the resources that you have, right? It's not about the money that you have. It's not about the time that you have. It's not about any of those things. It's about being resourceful enough and making a decision to commit to doing something like this, because it's going to change your life forever. And if you don't know that for certain, I know it will. So those are, a few things to think about and to consider. At the same time, I have a few more thoughts, but I'll leave it at that for now.
Awesome. So I have a couple things I'm going to add on it
Please.
too.
Please.
Oh, so just because I understand people who are on the fence, because I've been on the
Yeah.
fence before too. And I think so often as women, who most of the field is women, and a lot of the people in this group are parents,
Mhm.
we are so, we don't put ourselves first. We put everyone first but ourselves. And so for those of you who are on the fence, I'd encourage you to put yourself first. Put
Mm.
yourself first and make this is something that I'm going to commit to for me, understanding that the impact it's going to also have on your family and everything else is going to be so, so huge. I can promise you that you're not going to regret this event. You're going to be on day 3 like, this is the best event I've ever been to, and I'm so glad that I did this, because you are going to learn tangible skills to make money, to make impact, to grow your business, to take all those dreams that have just been sitting in your head and make them a reality. It's 3 days, but it's almost like an entire year of Zoom. If we can
Mm.
compress it into one live event, it's like, it's
Yes.
more powerful than that. So even though it's 3 days, it's going to be inspirational, it's going to be actionable, and it's going to be what you need to almost kind of get our butts in gear to have success in our business. So, I'm going to
Absolutely.
go so far to say that I can promise you that when you leave this event, you're going to be like, thank goodness I
Yes.
prioritized that I went. Thank goodness I did this. This is the best thing I've done for me and my business.
Mm.
And then what better way to go into 2024 too, right? Because
Huge.
you're going into the end of the year with all this motivation, and it's just really going to set you up to have the best 2024 and beyond. So
Absolutely.
that's what I wanted to say about that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
tax
And
deduction. Can I just say that
yes.
too? I love
Yes.
traveling. I travel a lot for my business, and it's all a tax deduction. My flight, my hotel, my food, all the things, it's a tax deduction, and I'm paying taxes anyways. Might as well use that money in something that's going to be fun and it's going to give me skills to make more impact in my business. So
Absolutely. And just to add to that, I think everything you said is spot on. And at the same time, like, how many hours, right, do you all spend every single day, whether it's going to Zoom calls, watching these trainings, which are great, by the way, even maybe watching Netflix a couple hours a day, right? All those hours and all that time it would take you to learn what you're going to learn in just 3 days, right? We're literally compressing, like Katie said, a year of trainings and watch time and all of that into 3 days. And so you're actually, by attending this event, you're not just saving money, because you're actually going to learn skills that are going to make you a lot of money, but you're also saving a lot of time by heading out here. And to Katie's point, as healthcare professionals, we're always thinking about how we can serve others. And it's so easy to forget about ourselves. So this is something that you need to do for yourself. Have a conversation with your family, your significant other, your kiddos, that, hey, mommy, daddy's going to go to this event for you, to change your life, because those skills are going to change our life forever. And when it comes to the actual event itself, right? Like Katie was mentioning, the idea is that, because I hear so many people say, oh, well, I'll have to check my calendar and make sure that there's nothing that it doesn't align with any, like, a lot of people don't have anything on their calendars yet, and they're waiting for something to fill it. And so if you don't actually make the decision to put this on your calendar, then I promise you something else is going to come up. So you have to really take a look at, what are my priorities in life right now? What are the priorities that I have? And if it is to spend more time with your children, then there's nothing better that you could be doing than building your own side hustle, building your own business, so you can actually create something that allows you all the free time in the world. Yes, is there a bit of work up front? Absolutely. But long term, it's for your kids. Is if it's spending more time with your significant other, being more present with your husband, right? This is the path to help you do that even more often, right? Because maybe the first couple years, you're working, you're building your business, your side hustle, you're growing it. And then once you got it to a certain point, it's leveraged and you have all the time in the world. You're doing these things for the people you care about. You're doing these things to be able to travel more. You're doing all of this to live the life that you want to live. And this is the first step, or maybe the next step for you to get there. And so I can go on and on. Obviously, you can tell Katie and I and Marissa are super excited about this event, because we're not playing around when we say it's, going to events like this have changed our life. And Again, it's if you've never been to one like this, then it's hard to conceptualize, but just trust us. Just trust us.
Yes, yes. And even when I think of my first entrepreneurial live event, so non-CEO actual business live event that I went to in June of 2021, that's what catapulted me to leaving my full-time job.
Yeah.
6 months later, I was gone. I would not have done that had I not been in person around those people, learning those skills, having that inspiration. So yeah, it really can help with getting time back. And actually last year when I came to the event, Nutrition BizCon Live, which was the version it was last year, I actually came to Florida earlier, and I had like my first ever like solo vacation. I went to St. Pete Beach, stayed in that, the big pink hotel fun thing. I did like I just had this whole vacation by myself, and I've never done that before. So I'm just saying, if you're going to Florida, you tack on a couple extra days and maybe do a solo vacation too, because it is such a treat.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I saw a Cat said, booking my flight now. I love it, girl. We will see you in December.
So excited to see you, Kat. And for those of you who are watching this on Facebook, for those of you who are on live now or watching this on replay, go ahead and let us know if you're going to be there, because I already know there's quite a few of you already signed up. So I want to know who I'm going to be seeing. And again, comment, thrive if you want to have me reach out to you, give you the link, tell you more about it. I'm an open book. I'm happy to chat with you more about the event. And I will say one thing I'm personally excited about is the connections that you're going to make, that I'm going to make. I think of every time I've done this or gone to an in-person event, thinking of this is the third time you guys are doing one, but every time I've been to yours, I make connections with people that I still have. And those connections are so valuable because those are people who could help you in the future with your business, people you might partner with, people who might be affiliates for your program, people you might be affiliates for your program, people that you might do collaborative things with. So business isn't a solo game. I mean, if it is, you're probably not going to have a lot of success and it's not as fun, but being able to make these friendships and partnerships is so, so valuable. And what better place than to forge them at a live event like this? So
100%. 100%.
Spot on.
So any final words that you guys want to share with our listeners before we wrap things up?
I'll share one thing, and it was kind of on a similar note to what Javi was saying earlier. And it's interesting. I actually put this as an Instagram post today, and I was sharing my journey from when I graduated school in December of 2014 to where we are today. And the one question that I always asked myself before I made the next move in my career, in my life, right? That powerful question that I always ask myself is this decision getting me farther or closer to the goals that I want to achieve? And if it was getting me closer, then I made the jump, no matter how uncomfortable, no matter how weird it felt. But that was the one powerful question that I always asked myself. And I think that, just leaning into that question and asking yourself, what's going to get me closer to my goals? Is it going to be sitting at home that weekend watching Netflix, or going to the park, or, working my job if I have to work on the weekend? Is that going to get me closer to my goals? Or is getting out of my comfort zone, putting myself in a room of like-minded individuals who are thinking the same things that I'm thinking, have the same goals that I want to achieve, and I could potentially, gain lifelong friends and this massive network of other healthcare entrepreneurs that are, all in this journey together? Which one of those is going to get me closer to my goal? I think you guys already know the answer, but I'll let you guys decide.
So, well, thank you guys so much for coming on and sharing with my audience today. As a reminder, go to katiedodd.com. You'll find my affiliate link to join. And when you join through my affiliate link, use the code SAVE75, and that's going to take $75 off the price of your ticket. So thank you guys so much for being on. And I cannot wait to see you all in December in beautiful Florida.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Katie. Appreciate it. Bye, everyone. See you soon.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode. As always, if you want to learn more about the ways that we can work together, head on over to katiedodd.com. That is my link tree. This is also where you will see the affiliate link if you are ready to join the Practice Revolution live event, or if you just want to learn more information. click on the button. This is my affiliate link. Now, I do have a special coupon code I mentioned in the interview, so I have it on the link. So if you forget what was it, you'll go to katiedodd.com. It'll say the Practice Revolution Live. Underneath it, it says affiliate link, because I want to make sure it's super clear that this is an affiliate link. I do make a small commission when people join through my link, but then also there's a coupon code there called SAVE75, where you will get $75 off the price of the ticket. So I sure hope to see you there. And yeah, have such an amazing day. And I will chat with you next week on the podcast.